Hello! How's everybody doing? Welcome to another Saturday live stream from Tech Ambrosia. I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. It's been a couple of weeks for me. I hope everybody's had a good holiday because I haven't seen any of y'all during the holiday season. We had Christmas, and I think Kwanzaa was in there, and Hanukkah and New Year's. Um, Happy holidays! I hope everybody had a good one. And yeah, welcome back. And this, of course, we're doing something special today that hopefully is going to be the norm going forward. This is going to be a simulcast. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I've got chat windows open for both, so either place is a great place to engage if you want to go chat. And we're going to see if we can grow an audience on Twitch as well as YouTube, because there's just a lot more people on Twitch for live streaming. Today, I don't have a whole lot on the docket, this being a test live stream. But I'm going to show you a couple of things. Obviously, you can see there's already a change right there, in that I've got a little card with my socials on it right away at the start of the stream. This will also be on the end of the stream. But also, if I switch over to the desk cam, you'll see that I have updated some of the layout stuff. So one moment, please. And here we are in the updated desk cam layout. Looks a lot like the old one, except I've tweaked some of the window positions on here, and I've removed all the window titles. If you remember the fun window titles. Our job today is going to be to, honestly, make some window titles. Because I kind of want to put some funny stuff in here. The other thing is that at some point in the future, I'm hoping I'll be able to put like up over here, I'll be able to put like scrolling patrons in that window title, the primary window title. So that's the reason that I pulled all the titles off the background image. They're no longer static. But yeah, so I spent all night last night setting that up, and like I was literally up until like 2 in the morning getting this thing working. But we're in good shape now. If I switch over to, say, the capture card, and I do still have to duck through one of these other cards because all of my cameras turn off and turn back on. Yeah, we've got 16 by 9 is set up right now. 4 by 3 is not quite, and our old console gaming one, I guess our new one, that was the newest one that I made for playing like Sega Saturn on composite. Not quite set up yet. We'll deal with that one probably in the next stream. But yeah, let's talk about this machine, because you have seen it maybe once before. I don't pull this one out a whole very often. I don't pull it out of storage very often. So let's switch over back to the desk cam. And you can see, there we go. So this beastie right here, obviously we got our 500 watt power supply, but if I grab the handle on the back here of this Generation 2 test bench, which will release soon, I swear, I'm sorry, you can see what this thing actually is. We've got, this is a VIA Apollo Pro 133A motherboard. This is from, it's actually from Jetway. I did a video on this one a long time ago, where I said, basically avoid these things because they're really slow. The Jetway is probably the slowest one you'll find. It's just, they made some really bad decisions when they set up the chipset and they set up the registers in the chipset. When the chipset bootstraps itself, it pulls the register configuration information out of the BIOS, and the settings on this one are just awful. They're super safe, very conservative, which means the whole platform just runs really, really slowly. CPU in this is a Pentium III 600EB, so that's a copper mine with the 128K, or sorry, 256K of on-die level 2 cache, and a 133 megahertz frontside bus. Yeah, other than that, I've got some mixed sticks of SD RAM in here. I think it's running 320 megs. It's all single channel, so it doesn't matter how many sticks you put in what order. And then, of course, the video card, very prominently displayed on top here, is this is it's a Radeon 9200 SE that I picked up, the PCI version of the 9200 SE that I picked up like years ago at this point, very early in the channel's life. Originally, it was destined for being plugged into a 1 gigahertz via C3 system for doing like retro Windows gaming. Then of course I've got the standard test bench goodies like a fan that slides onto the rear French cleats holder. I can get that on there. There we go. Keeps the CPU cool because it doesn't have a fan otherwise. But yeah, that's it. The reason that I use this machine is that none of the hardware that's in this is going to be missed at all for any of the videos. I did a video on this motherboard. I'll never do another one because it's a terrible motherboard. And this processor basically won't work in any of my other slot 1 boards because it's a 133 megahertz frontside bus processor. You try and boot it up at 100 megahertz, it just yells at you. Plus, if I'm gonna boot up a Pentium III and 100 megahertz bus to overclock it, it's not gonna be using one of these 600 EBs. It's gonna be something a little nicer. So yeah, that's this thing. I've also got a SD to IDE here. We've got a single 32 gig SD card in it. It is dual booting Windows 98 and Windows 2000, which is the best version of Windows, and that's the one that we're going to boot up here in just a second. And oh yeah, I forgot. We've got Clippy here too. You see down there in the corner down there. Clippy's helping us out. So thank you, Clippy. I'm gonna close you now, okay? All right. So let's switch back over to the 16:9 capture card signal, and we'll boot this thing up, get some work done. Firing it up is simple. It's an ATX power supply, has soft power on, piece of cake. Although I actually did set this one up without power management correctly turned on. So like the ACPI doesn't work on this. So you'll see, we'll shut down Windows 2000. You'll see something I don't think you've probably ever seen in your life. There's a now it's now safe to shut down Windows screen in Windows 2000. It's wild. I think XP's got one too. So while this is booting up, let's say hi to chat. We've got a few folks here. Hello. Trina's here. Trina's Technobabble. Also, Everything is Broken Garage. Right, hello. Welcome to the stream. WhatsApp. Hello, welcome to the stream. Harley777's here. Hello. How's it going? Also Martin. Hello, welcome. Yes, long time no see, exactly. It's it's still midnight where Martin is. Yeah, I don't know why, but there are a few people over in the Eurozone who like to hop in and watch the streams. But yeah, it is about midnight over there for y'all. I appreciate it. Hey, I do appreciate it, and I do try and keep them down to about 2 hours a piece on Saturdays, so I don't keep y'all up over there. Cloud John 1 Plus says, congratulations everyone for surviving 2024. Yeah, here's to surviving 2025 too. Asmodeus is here. Asmodeus says, I have the Tyan S1854. Haven't tested to see if it's any better or worse. There are a few Apollo 133A boards out there that are actually quite good. But it really, really depends on each manufacturer, each AIB, each board manufacturer, whether they set the chip set up correctly to be high performance. And like, if you've used one of these machines from this era, you know that you go into the BIOS and there's a whole bunch of tweakable settings. Like, I've got everything in this BIOS set to be as fast as possible, and it is still a dog. Just an absolute dog. Oh, Clark1 Plus says, heads up, you don't have a title set on the Twitch stream. I have no idea how to do that. But thank you for the reminder. Like I said, it's a test stream. Oh. Alright, YouTube seems a tad grumpy. I did get a yellow warning from YouTube. I'm not sure why exactly, but YouTube usually gives me some problems, but we'll see. Hey, Ian Pulpo is here. Hello. Ian Scott, maker of the Picogus. Heck of a retro utility. If you haven't gone and grabbed a Picogus, go grab one. They're great. Super versatile sound cards. All right. So, looks like we are online and working. So I'll just show you around the, oh yeah, no, that's right. But boot it up, we're going to turn it off real quick so you can see this. This is probably something you've never seen before. So if I hit shutdown, right, Windows 2000 shuts down, and then, don't make me a liar, Windows, come on. And then loses the input signal. Great, that's great, that's fantastic. Okay, moving right along. Good Lord. Ah, I worked on this, like I said, I worked on this until 2 in the morning last night, and it worked flawlessly the whole time. I even put in a new CR2032 BIOS battery, and it doesn't appear to matter. It's just being cranky today. It's just being cranky. Alrighty, so if you can let me know how to set a title on a Twitch stream, I will set the title, because I don't know how to do that. I'm brand new to streaming on Twitch. I have no idea how to set a title on this. It's not in my simulcast plugin. I wonder if it's in my account settings. Sorry, folks. I know it's going to be super duper interesting while I wrangle. While I wrangle Twitch here real quick. Twitch is like, we missed you. You haven't streamed in a while. Yeah, I just got started. Oh, hilarious. Yeah, I have no idea. Not a clue how to set a title on the stream. We'll deal with that in a minute. All right. So, is it really being grumpy? I wonder if I just unplug this real quick and plug it back in. It's probably, if I had to blame it on anything, I'd blame it on my capture card. Because that thing gets so grumpy if you throw it a resolution that it's not expecting. Ha! See? There it is. Just gotta unplug it and plug it back in. Bet you have never seen that. I bet you have never seen that. I think it's just it's like the startup image where it's just like a 640 by 480 BMP stored somewhere in the Windows startup files. But it looks like it's a dialog box, right? Like it looks like it's the shutdown dialog box, but it's super duper not. I think it's just a static image. Hey, Chris Ducati is here. Hello, welcome. Yeah, it's good to see you too. Glad to be back. Let's see. I apologize for gaps in stream right now. I'm trying to manage the Twitch side of things. It's a little bit more complicated. Let me see here. Hey, Gareth Beagle's here. Hello, welcome. Welcome. I see Gareth in both universes. It's amazing. All right, so the whole point of this was not to turn off the machine, but hey, now you have seen a thing you've probably never seen before. So I'm glad that at least works once. So as I was saying at the start of the stream, I have redone all of the fun retro stream layout here, and I need window titles. If anybody's got any ideas for funny window titles, I'm all ears. I don't have to make the desk cam I don't have to make it like unregistered desk cam. As funny as that was, I can just put that like straight onto the stream for the desk cam. Like I can do that. So the title for the desk cam can be something else if there's something funnier to put there. Other than that, there really isn't like sky's the limit here basically. I'm going to show you how I edit these things. In order to make my life easier, I put them all on a giant transparent PNG, and we're gonna edit that actually on this machine on Windows 2000. So we're gonna keep things retro today. But if I do that, if I keep them on a giant like my setup here internally is 1440p. If I keep a big 1440p PNG with the window titles on it, that means that I can just snap it to the viewport size, and everything will snap into alignment and stay there. I don't have to worry about it. If something goes wrong with this machine, I've got a backup, and it's one click to restore it to its position. Just hit fit to screen, and it'll do the thing. But yeah, if you've watched any of my other videos ever since the start of the Department of Rendering, like early last year, you've probably seen these guys, right? Our retro transitions, right? When we start the video, a little mouse cursor comes up from the bottom and hits the start button. You get a nice purple square, and then this is all it is. I'm just using a chroma key to knock out this green part. So it fills with purple, and then it fills with whatever the scene transition is. This is just a VB6 program that I wrote on this machine. See, we got VB6 right here. Super simple. Super duper simple. The nice part about using a Pentium III with VB is that it's fast enough that you can easily get 60 frames per second out of it, no problem, even with all the overhead of Visual Basic. But yeah, if we double click this guy, it looks familiar, huh? There's our form. You can hardwire a caption if you want to. This is a window caption. If I can spell caption, there we go. If you want, you can hardwire the caption. I've just wiped out all the captions on these around the view here, and we can just put whatever we want in it. Whatever we want. So for making those modifications, I've got an old copy of Photoshop on here, which actually doesn't. This one's a little too old. It doesn't quite work correctly with PNGs. But I can just export the layer that I want as a TIFF. It should work just fine. I can process it over on this side in Paint.net, turn it into a PNG, and then throw it into OBS. If I open up my stream background. Apologies for magenta jump scare. Let's make these not magenta real quick. I was using this for just citing things, making sure I had the right locations for everything. We have paint bucket selected. Okay. Make sure we've got one tolerance, no anti-aliasing. Let's go ahead and make that a little less jump scare. But yeah, that's the idea. All I have to do is like zoom in on this, and it's pretty easy to just line up, you know, whatever you want here with a text tool. And then if you do that on a separate layer, you can just export that one layer, and you're good to go. Let's go ahead and auto hide this taskbar. We're a little strapped for vertical clearance on this thing because I have it running on 16:9. It's one of the nice parts about this Radeon is that it'll pretty much output whatever resolution you want, including 1280 by 720. Super easy. So yeah, if we do a new layer, we can put whatever we want in here as text or whatever. Like if we do that, right? And then that's a separate layer to what's on the background. We'll deal with that separately. Wow, interesting. Watzak is saying, just glancing at both streams, kind of dire stuttering for me on YouTube today. It looks pretty smooth on Twitch. That's really interesting. I am running encoding in hardware on a 1660 Super. On YouTube, I'm feeding it through HEVC, so H.265, which honestly should look better than anything else. And then, of course, Twitch doesn't support that, so I'm doing H.264 over to Twitch. That's wild. That's wild that it's so much worse over on YouTube. Brian says, listening to the stream while shopping at Walmart makes the terribleness that is Walmart a lot better. Oh. Michael Harbuck asks, what was the max boot volume size? When these are being phased, it was being phased out. I was so excited to upgrade from slot 1. Oh, from a slot A Pentium II. I don't know what the max boot volume size is on this. I am using a 32 gig SD card with just a normal like DOS partition scheme on it, and it works. It's perfectly happy to boot off of it. I know I've got a socket 5 Pentium in the other room that I've been trying to get onto stream because I want to plug one of my original Voodoos into it. Because that'd be great. Pentium 75 with an original Voodoo would be terrific. But it just everything I plug into it for a drive, it just balks. It just gets stuck at detecting the drives. I think at this point, I'm going to try an old SCSI card and see if I can get it to recognize a blue SCSI, maybe set to like a gigabyte, maybe 2, and see if it'll boot with that. Because it's real annoying trying to get that thing to work. We have a suggestion of what double curly brackets window.stream.desktop_capture for window title. That's awful. Oh, Watzak says I'm making him twitchy, reminding him that he goes back to work on Monday supporting a VB6 program. I'm so sorry. I'm just using this for recreational programming. To be supporting this is truly horrific. Michael Harback says Win 2000 was made for SCSI. Do that. Well, I'd be running. The thing is I'd be running Windows 95 on it, which, like, I've done that before using an old ISA SCSI card. What was it? It was an in 2000 old ISA SCSI card way back in the day on my 486. I thought I'd try it, and it was a pain in the butt to get working. Oh, there you go. Maximum boot volume size for Windows 2000 generally considered to be around 137 gigabytes. Okay. Yeah, so having a 32 gig SSD or a 32 gig SD card split between 2 volumes, perfectly fine. And you can see these 2 volumes if I pull up my Windows Explorer here. You can see we've got Skunkworks 2000 is the Windows 2000 partition where we're using 4 gigabytes, a whole 4 gigabytes out of the 18 we have, and using a 1 gigabyte on the Windows 98 partition out of the 7 that are available there, which is pretty funny. I love old operating systems. They take up like no space. How interesting. Many of the old boards back then I was able to pull out of the recycle bin had onboard SCSI. That'd be pretty cool. This one thinks it does. Um, let me open up the device manager. It's this one sure thinks it has onboard SCSI. Hardware, device manager. There we go. SCSI RAID controllers. It thinks it has a SCSI controller on board. It doesn't. It super duper doesn't. I don't know why it thinks it has a SCSI card on or a SCSI controller on here, but yeah, no, I'm looking at the board. There's no SCSI port on it. It has 2 ATA and a floppy, and that's it. This is like this thing doesn't even have onboard sound. That's how basic this thing is. So yeah, I don't know. Go home, Windows 2000. You're drunk. And I've disabled the floppy disk controller, but it still thinks it can see it, so it gives it an error because it can't talk to it because it's disabled. So if we go down to the bottom here, this is where I had the unregistered bench cam. Might do that again, maybe. It seems like it was a pretty good, funny option. Let's see. I want to get rid of these little icons though. Little Microsoft Foundation classes icons. Let's get. I need to draw. Oh man, back to Photoshop 5 days. Just need to draw a thing. I think I'm just gonna have to like. That sets my fill. Nope. I'm gonna fill my selection. Select. Fill selection? No, of course not. Interesting. I'm so used to these days working with Paint.net. It's close to Photoshop, but it's not quite Photoshop. That I've forgotten how to use Photoshop. It's kind of sad. That's our gradients to polygon tool with polygon select. Man, oh man, it's been a while. Huh. I guess I can just. Oh yeah, no, I should be able to. Yeah, select and then fill. That's right. That's right. You select it and then you fill your selection using the paint bucket tool. All right, so what do we got? M is going to be marquee, and paint bucket is okay. Sure. All right. Let's do a little bit of this. Hello. Marquee, thank you. Paint bucket. All right. That's not so bad. Marquee. Paint bucket. I think that's it. Yeah, so there's all the icons removed. So if we're going to call this one text. This will be our text layer. Juicy Fan says, I think you might be dropping frames. It's certainly possible. Oh yeah, no, we are definitely dropping frames, which is interesting. Huh. Well, given how well apparently the Twitch stream looks, maybe, maybe I could just share the one encoder for the two streams. That might work. Oh, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Okay, so my internet is screwing me again, as usual. So I should have about 20 megabits of upload bandwidth. So I'm dedicating 8 and 8 to the two streams. And apparently, they've decided that no, I get half of that because 8 is going to Twitch right now, and YouTube is getting all of about 2. So that's what's happening. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. I love this internet provider so much. Ugh, garbage, garbage, garbage. I probably can't change that midstream, can I? Without like completely ruining everything. I would have to stop streaming at least. Well, I guess that's one to note. Once the stream's over, I will make that change. I'll just use the one encoder and I'll send it to both services. That's annoying. Everything is broken garage says you should do an overlay that says it's Windows 2000 but not activated like you get with more modern Windows. I should actually. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. As Modius asks, is there Daemon tools or alcohol soft installed? There is. I'm using Daemon tools because it's way more convenient to get to ISO images through Daemon tools than through an actual. Oh, there you go. That makes sense. The D347 PRT is a SCSI emulation device, so it thinks it has a SCSI controller because of Daemon tools. That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. That makes sense. All right. Toy Dragon, if you are still there, what do I need to do to give you more permissions? Since you're already mod, um, since you know how to change the stream title. That would be great. So my guess is either I'm being messed with by my ISP, or because I'm using a 1660 Super and not like a higher end NVIDIA card, I've only actually got one encoding ring on that card for NVENC. It's probably having trouble doing two different basically encode types because I'm doing H.264 and H.265 at the same time. I'm guessing it's not happy with that. So I think what I'll do once the stream is over, I know I just said this, but I apologize, folks on YouTube. I'll fix it for the next stream. I'll just combine the two streams into one encoder on my end, and then split it out to the two services. Since apparently about 8 megabits up to Twitch is fine. Apparently everybody over there is seeing good frame rates. Okay. Sorry, folks. Where is oh, it's open in the right place. Nope, sure doesn't. Okay. That link, unfortunately. Well, let me see if I can click it from here. Okay. Sorry. This is technically a test stream, and we're definitely testing. Testing my patience. Alrighty. Okay, so that'll change the title. I don't even know what to call this. Let's just call this test stream. Test stream. Okay. Hey. Gut Mom says hi on Twitch. Hello. Welcome. Alrighty. So big question, since this is such an old version of Photoshop, is the text tool still terrible? It is! Oh, the text tool is still terrible. Oh man. I don't miss this. I don't miss this type tool, that's for sure. Blah. Gross. Oh boy. I am some text. Oh, at least it previews it this time. Thankfully. I'm not dealing with Photoshop 4. Let's see here. Turn off anti-aliasing. Beautiful. So then it's actually changing anything? No. Oh, okay. Select all of it and then make it something else. There we go. Oh, we're learning. We're relearning. It's been 30 years since I used this version of Photoshop. Not a lot of fonts on this machine. Probably change that. Oh yeah, those are all the silly wingdings. Beautiful. Dingbats. Well, of course you have to use Comic Sans, right? Of course you have to use Comic Sans. Now we can make it 18 point, or we can make it 9 point and then just double it to make it extra crunchy. Let's see how that looks. If I grab this. That's gonna look super crunchy, that's for sure. And then let's. Oh, that's right. I have to do. Oh man. Oh, it's because this isn't rendered. That's right. I gotta render the text first. So clunky. I forgot how clunky this is. So just merge it down. And I should be able to, yeah, free transform. Let's do a scale. Oh yeah, now that is chunky. Alright, and deselect. Oh no, it did it with anti-aliasing. No. Options. Anti-aliasing, I can't turn it off. Darn it. Well, I suppose I can grab this. We can cut and make a new document. Paste it in there. That is minuscule. but we should be able to make this larger. Image size. Can't put in a percent, really? Fine. That's gonna be 124. There we go. Nearest neighbor. Go. Now if I copy this, paste it back in here. Now we've got, yes, nice and chunky. That's definitely chunky. Let's see how it looks in the full size. Pretty darn chunky. Pretty darn chunky. What am I using? The question is, what am I using for my window titles? Color. There we go. Active title bar. We're using small fonts at a very large size. Sure, okay. I guess that works. Oh, that's so dumb. Alright, let's see if that works better. Click a new layer. And let's zoom in. We're going to modify this one. Okay. Some more text. That's going to be, can you use small fonts in here? Does it even let me? No, it doesn't. It says that font sucks. You can't use it. The auto kerning doesn't seem to do a whole lot. That's nice. So that's doing. Oh, that's not doing the thing. That's right. We're zoomed in like crazy. Make that 11. Looks pretty awful. I forgot how bad text rendering is in Windows. Dang. All right. Let's see. We only have regular. We don't have a fold. Let's do that. I'm gonna do the M for marquee. Copy, new, enter, paste. I will double the size of it, which is 160. But I got something in my eye earlier today, and it has not gotten out of my eye all day. Alright, so toss. Oh, right. This is. Oh man, do I have anything on my clipboard? It's anti-aliasing. Of course it's anti-aliasing. I forgot to tell it to not do it in anti-aliasing. Okay. Sure. I understand. This is a disaster. Toss that. Let's go back to my. Okay. My history. Let's go back to image size. Double its size, 160. We'll turn off the bicubic, thank you. Seriously, I'm missing paint.net. It's kind of funny. Move tools on V. Okay, sure. It fits a little bit better. Let's see how it looks at 100%. That looks pretty gross. Looks pretty gross. I think our best bet though is going to be to just do native size. I just put the cursor here and I put third block of text. And we're going to make this Comic Sans. Oh, I got to select it all first. It's so doofy. That might be our winner. What do you think? I think the Comic Sans wins. Get bomb asks, is this Photoshop 4? This is Photoshop 5. We're using advanced technology here. But yeah, no, you recognize that text editor because that's yep, that text editor hasn't changed from Photoshop 4 to Photoshop 5. It's still awful. Oh boy. Ryan, I think Ryan wins one of the window titles. Ryan says one of the windows should say Lincoln_park-num parentheses clean dash not a virus.exe. Definitely. Definitely. That is absolutely going to happen. Oh my god. Alright, let's merge this layer down and be done with it. Thank you. You have a underscore hyphen underscore in there. Oh, that's so good. Beautiful. I love it. That's great. Francois Reval is here. Hello. Welcome. How is the simulcast holding up? Well, apparently, I'm asking a little bit too much of my NVIDIA card. It is only a 1660 Super, but apparently asking it to encode two different streams at the same time is a no-no. So what I need to do on the next stream is set up one encoder and then use that encoder for both streams. Oh, what do we have here? Tiny Toy Dragon says, not a virus, trust me, I'm a dolphin.exe. Example on Imager, what does this look like? Trust me, I'm a dolphin. Waiting for it to load. It's a little desktop icon of literally a dolphin, a very happy little dolphin, and the text, the caption of the icon says, totally not a virus, trust me, I'm a dolphin. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yes, Francois asks, are you doing that on the same machine? Yes, I'm doing it on the same machine that you are watching this on. It is a little tiny little Dell Optiplex with a 7th Gen i5 in it and a 1660 Super, and it's struggling. We'll get it. The whole point of this stream is to make it a test and see what we can get out of it. And it looks like two streams of two different encode types. Not something you can get out of it. So. Nice. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Fortis is here. Fortis says, I see this version of Photoshop and I can still hear my hard drive crunching away as Windows started swapping the disk. Absolutely. Should we make it let's do a simulation. Do new, let's say, let's do a simulation. Let's run some filters, huh? Do it's gonna do suppose we can do an add noise. Well, screw you. Photoshop can't add noise, it's empty. The whole point is to just fill it with noise. Okay. There's gotta be one in here that, like, yeah, render, that's what I'm looking for. Let's render clouds. There we go, and then we'll do a big Gaussian blur, because that's what everybody always did back in the day, right? Just do a big giant Gaussian blur. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We actually got to see a progress bar on that one. Although a 600 megahertz Pentium III does kind of crush Photoshop 5, so it's not really that. It's not that awful. We've got lots of RAM too. What are we using right now? Yeah, currently using 150 megs out of our 320. Oh, Photoshop doesn't like that. Does it? Does it have a hook into the operating system to tell when you've let go of the mouse and you're not dragging another window? Huh. Wild. It like pauses its own rendering when you're dragging some other window. I wonder if that's a holdover from macOS. Oh, that's wild. Anyway, we've got our pirated Linkin Park video on our main screen. Let's see what else we can put on this thing. Most of this, I think. Yeah, that's two texts. That's text. Okay. Merge these down, delete them. Merge down. Yay! Okay. Gutbomb says, wait, did you say you're streaming from a 600 megahertz Pentium III? No, sorry. The machine on the desk here, you see in the lower left corner, this is the machine that I'm running Photoshop on, right? And this is plugged in over DVI to HDMI to this machine, which is the Optiplex, that's doing it's managing the stream and it's doing all the encoding, and it's definitely having a bad time about it. No, I'm not streaming from a Pentium 3. That'd be really impressive. It would have to be, I think, at least a dual Pentium 3. And you'd have to have somewhere that can ingest like MJPEG video, because I don't think a Pentium 3 has enough horsepower to do a H.264. Gutbomb asks, did you not have good luck streaming with the M1 Mac Mini? I actually never used it. I could never get the bitrate down far enough with the built-in Apple encoder to make it look good. It was really nice to do video editing on, but that was about it. And then, of course, I was struggling with Mac OS X the whole time. I never really took to Mac OS X. It's just there's a bunch of quirks in it that I really don't like, and that just really grate against my brain, and they've never been fixed, and I kind of hate them. So I'm not using the M1 Mini anymore. I haven't actually used the M1 Mini for probably 6 months, more than 6 months at this point. All of my streams were previously done using my gaming PC, which used to be over there. Um, but that was like a Ryzen 5800X 3D and a 3090, so I had plenty of horsepower to do whatever I needed to do on stream. I've dismantled that and shoved it in a box along with everything else because I'm packing up for moving. And now this little tiny Optiplex is basically my whole life at the moment, including streaming, because it's going to be really easy to move. It's a little tiny mini tower computer. So just unplug cables and pick it up and go. I know other folks have had luck streaming with the Apple Silicon Macs, but I have such an upload bandwidth constriction that I don't know. I don't know if I can even. Um, I don't know if I can actually get the Apple encoding, ASIC down to a quality level where it looks good and it still fits through my ridiculously small upload pipe. I8386SX says, "Oh crap, did I miss the stream? I hope not." Probably you're probably seeing some dropped frames on the YouTube side. 386SX, I apologize. I am asking a lot from this 1660 Super, and it's having a bad time. So apparently the Twitch stream is nice and smooth, but it's having a bad time doing the YouTube stream on H265. So I'll have to fix that for the next stream. I can't adjust it without stopping the stream, and I don't know how to stop and resume a stream when I have two going at the same time. It's a little weird. But basically, we are making some new, as you can see around me, I've redone my layout, and I'm looking for suggestions for window titles for these silly windows up here. We got a really good suggestion from Ryan, Everything's Broken Garage, for a definitely not a virus pirated version of Linkin Park's Numb. It's great, that brings back memories. So yeah, if you have any ideas for what to put in here, I'm all ears. Now is the time. But barring that, I'll probably end up filling up all the rest of the spaces once the stream is over. We're probably going to go for another hour at this point, if folks are still interested. Gutbomb says, "I love the Visual Basic default form icons you have in the current Windows." That is because they are Visual Basic applications. If you have seen any of my videos since I started the Department of Rendering series, you'll probably recognize these little transitions, right? And that's a VB6 application that I wrote. I showed this off earlier in the stream, but I'll show it off again because it's super simple. And since we're on a Pentium III 600, we've got enough horsepower to get 60 frames per second out of it, which is kind of silly. But yeah, there's our transition application, and all I do is I start recording the screen and I trigger the transition, and then I just knock out the chroma key on it. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, Gutbomb says, "I didn't realize you made this in VB for real. I thought it was like edited motion graphics." No. I'm way worse at motion graphics than I am at programming in VB. So I just wrote it in VB. Oh. Yeah, there's not a lot to it. It's where is the part that I'm doing? Yeah, this is the part. This is the key to making it all work. Is you just keep track of your frame time, and then you sleep for a total of 16.6 milliseconds. It's not the most accurate thing in the world, but again, since we're on a Pentium III, we've got pretty good timing accuracy. We can get pretty close to 60 FPS. It works well enough. But yeah, it's that's basically the idea. I just draw a box, draw another box. That is it. There's also the weird parts about programming Windows, like where you hide and show the cursor, and apparently the cursor visibility is like a big stack. So if you hide the cursor and then you want to show it, you have to like pop the hidden parts off of the stack to make sure you have enough popped off so the cursor actually comes back. Which is why I call show cursor 5 times in a loop, because that actually shows the cursor again. It's really wild. Windows is a complete kludge. Total and complete kludge. And this is a VB6, so this is from the era when Windows was the kludgiest. Although I don't think it's really gotten a whole lot less kludgy over the years. I mean, if you try and disable Copilot in Windows 11, you lose a bunch of the visual parts of the Windows Explorer, because that makes sense. If you turn off the AI, you don't get Windows Explorer tabs for some reason. It's not like Windows has ever stopped being a kludge, but Arnie Barrow says this is what Shader Toy would have been in 1998. Yeah, exactly. So the other thing I want to figure out how to do, now that I'm on Twitch as well, is to get some chat integration in somehow. I also want to scroll my patrons across the top of the screen at some point, or maybe make a status bar at the bottom that scrolls my patrons. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. I stayed up until like 2 in the morning getting all of this stuff working last night. It turns out when you export your configuration in OBS and then you import it into a new OBS, it doesn't actually like completely save everything unless you use exactly the same canvas size as you did previously, which is great, except like I said, I'm on a 1660 Super now, so having a 4K canvas size doesn't fly. The 1660 Super really doesn't like doing 4K decoding or encoding. So I had to make my canvas size 1440p, which meant all of my imported scenes were all 50% too large. And there's no way to just take every element in a scene and just kind of reduce it in size. Just a pain in the butt. It was just a pain in the butt. But yeah, so that's I guess since we've got about an hour left to go, why don't I try stopping the stream, resetting the encoder like I said I was going to do, and then we'll try restarting it and see if YouTube improves in stream performance. I-8386SX, that's too much work. yeah, no, it was a lot. Like I said, I was up until 2 in the morning doing this. It was bad. Where do I do that? Let's see if I can get this to swap over to the other encoder real quick. Just give me 1 sec. Hopefully this doesn't like blow everything up, but we'll see. Okay, I should be back, hopefully, fingers crossed. I have no idea if this is better or worse at this point. So we're using the same encoder on both Twitch and YouTube. So now, have I managed to make both streams bad? That's a great question. I see I am dropping a lot of frames, so I think it's still bad. But have I managed to make both of them bad? That's my big question. Gut Bombs is alive here on Twitch and Smooth. How about YouTube? Is YouTube doing okay? YouTube is still doing not great. Lots more buffering circles on YouTube, Twitch still smooth. So apparently YouTube is just not having a great time. I wonder if I am just running into too much, I'm just running into the limits of my networking here. That's annoying. That is annoying. Cat Bomb says everyone should just come over to Twitch anyway. It's way better than YouTube streaming. Well, it's definitely trying my patience tonight. Holy cow. I thought I had a pretty good lock on streaming on YouTube, but this is bad. Lots more buffering on YouTube. Twitch still smooth. That sucks. That's true. That's true, Cat Bomb. We do have that. What emoji is that? Oh yes. Oh yes. The snake pug jam. Yes. We do have that over on Twitch. Oh. It is true. Alright, well that was not what I thought it was. I wonder if I can... Okay. Streams are restarted. Let's see if that improves the quality of video over on YouTube. I am still seeing them dropping frames, but a lot fewer. Yeah, I think I just don't have that kind of bandwidth into YouTube, I guess. That is wild. So I'm running a 4 megabit stream for H.265 over to YouTube, and then I'm running a 7 megabit stream of H.264 over to Twitch, and that seems mostly okay. My little network widget in OBS is still saying I've got like 3.5 megabits. It's only really receiving 3.5 megabits for YouTube. I don't know if that's on my end or if that's like YouTube's problem, but man, oh man. Right? Oh, bummer. Yeah, well, that sucks. Yeah, we've moved to sound breaking up See You on Twitch. Screwed by your ISP. You're kidding. Yeah, exactly. I should have, like, I've done speed tests. I should have 20 megabits upload, like, comfortably 20 megabits. So, like, I should be able to do 7 to each, right? 14 megabits, 7 to each. Apparently I can't. I may need to do a little bit more tweaking on this, which is super frustrating. Super frustrating. Man, it looks like the best I can get reliably up to YouTube is like 3 megabits, which is ridiculous. Got Bomb says nice mouse, by the way. Thank you. I actually have a small collection of Microsoft mice. They're kind of silly. I had one of the really old ones. Do you remember the import mouse, where it was basically this, but it was all straight. It didn't have this little curve on it. That was like my mouse on my 486 for years, and years. I used that for a mouse. It went from Microsoft Import. It had a little adapter on the cord, and then came out as a serial plug. So it was a serial mouse. For the longest time, I just had a serial mouse. I loved the thing. I loved it to death. This is great. Ranta says, or Fortis says, exquisite. Sorry. Like I said, I have a thing in my eye that I haven't been able to get out of my eye all day, and I can barely read text on the screen. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun day. All right, I'm gonna see if I can make one more change to the streaming setup here, and we'll see if we can get both streams to be smooth. This is a test stream after all. Hiccups are expected. I will see you back here in just a moment. Things are looking up. I think we might have it. We just might have it at this point. Maybe, maybe. Good Lord. That is that's half. That's half of what I'm supposed to be able to get out of this. It's 10 megabits total instead of 20. Love it. Love it. Man, US ISPs are the worst. They're just the worst. Jeez. Okay, so we're back up. Looks like we are back up and running. Hopefully, hopefully everything's smooth. Can y'all let me know? Is oh no. Charlotte says I can't chat on Twitch as the followers only mode requires a month of being a follower. Yeah, no, the channel was only announced like 2 weeks ago. That's weird. Huh. Why is the Twitch chat? Okay, so the Twitch chat has changed itself to be followers only for a month, which is not possible. Hey, Toy Dragon. Thank you. I've got a mod on the Twitch side who's fixing it, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't chat in my own chat. It'll ask me. OBS will ask me to sign into Twitch. That's hilarious. Okay. Sure. That's alright. That's okay. I can talk to y'all. Use my mouth flaps. Okay. So we're looking okay. I think everything is doing alright. I've got green lights on my dashboards. Things seem to be okay. Of course now YouTube is like, we're not receiving enough bits of data from you. And I'm like, I wish I could send you more, but my ISP won't let me. Ah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, I see. I see, I see. Okay. Awesome. All right. Twitch chat is coming back online. Good, good. So I've got a moderation bot in there, and apparently my bringing the stream down and back up a couple of times confused it, and it put it back into lockdown mode. So we're good. Twitch chat's up. Blake says I would do the streams in 720p 60. I'm trying to do 1080p 60, but I guess we'll see how well that works. Mostly 1080p 60 because if I switch over to the capture card, there we go. I want you to be able to read what's on the screen, right? Like if I'm showing off a retro machine, I want you to be able to read what's up there. But yeah, bandwidth on Twitch is terrible. Well, the thing is actually the problem I'm having now is YouTube actually. Twitch seems to be okay. Looks like we're doing 59, 60 FPS on Twitch. Looking okay. So if I take this and it's to 50%, move this around. Right? Who's got smooth window movement? Can everybody see some smooth window movements? I hope. Fun, fun. I knew this was going to be kind of a horror show, and it has definitely turned into that. Simul streaming. I think we've mostly got it. If I can get my ISP to give me, you know, half of the bandwidth that they promised me, we should be okay. Good Bomb says the spinning CPU and the circulating window are reminding me of that thing where you pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so this was basically all I wanted to do is just like have some simple just stream setup stuff going on. This machine doesn't really. Oh no! I'm getting clipped. Oh no. Um, this machine doesn't have any games on it. I can reboot this into. Let me save this. I'll reboot this into Win98. I think I've got a couple of things on there. Oh wait, actually, you know what? I do have a game on here because why wouldn't I have this game on here? I have Quake on here. I have GL Quake on here. We run GL Quake through our Radeon 9200 SE, and it'll totally not be terrible. Obviously, just a reminder, it doesn't have any sound because there's no sound card on this thing, but like it does work. It does work. Let's do a. Oh, it has not great sync. That's not cool. Oh boy. The sync is atrocious. Wow. I'm not surprised. I don't think this is the Radeon's fault. I don't think this is Quake's fault. I think this is my capture card's fault. I don't think it likes the 640 by 480 that's coming out of this thing. Let's see if we can just do 800 by 600. Maybe it'll be happier with that. Shortcut here. We should be able to. I believe it's minus win 100 minus height 600. Let's see if that works. No, it does not work. Good to know. Let's see. I've got. Still have this open. Yeah, there's 3D mark there. You can see that in my install directory, but it doesn't run because it doesn't get past the collecting system info portion because there's no sound card. It really doesn't like that there's no sound card. This is a rare version of Quake. I've tried to look for updates for this version. This is WinQuake. So this is just a port of DOS Quake into Windows with like windowed mode and dynamic resolution switching. I hardly ever see this talked about, but like this was my bread and butter back in the day because I switched myself over to Windows 2000 pretty early because I got it for basically free from my university. So I was running Windows 2000 on as many things as I could, and that meant running Quake on it because I wanted to play some Quake. And WinQuake was mostly the way to do it, for me at least. So if we change our video options, like we can do windowed mode, right? So we'll run this in a window. Look at that, 800 by 600 in a window. And the I believe like the Mac version of Quake, the Mac port of Quake, uses this code base for WinQuake. Because you notice if you hit escape, you get that weird like crosshatchy effect there that you also see in the Mac versions of Quake, at least in the software rendered versions, which makes me think that this is actually the code base that they used for that. Thought. Anyway, let's do 640 by 480. Full screen. Let's see if this will have a better time about it. It's not quite a lot 60 FPS, mostly because it's Pentium III 600. It can't quite do it, but like we don't have any of the like write combining issues you'd have in DOS if you're trying to run this at 640 by 480. Because we're running it in Windows, we've got a real graphics driver. We've got MTRR support. We've got write combining, all that good stuff. So if I do map start, let's do a time demo 1. Let's do a quick time demo. I'm gonna guess we're gonna get around 30, maybe the high 30s FPS. Blake DMC calls it. Let me guess. Live Gamer 4K having issues with 640 by 480. Yep, you got it. And like this has generally been a more reliable card than my Elgato that I had before this. That thing was just like, good lord. Oh, not even high 30s, just 29 FPS. It's still not the worst for 640 by 480 in Quake on a Pentium III 600. It's not amazing, honestly. What if we run it in window mode? I wonder if it's faster. I know I'm like looking for performance on this thing, and I've already said that this is one of the lowest performance motherboards that I have for a Pentium 3. So let's see if this is. Let's go to map start. Demo 1. Definitely seems to be faster. yeah, no, my Elgato was not great. It started out strong, and now it just bogs down. That's interesting. I wonder if that's just like multi-threading, multitasking. That's pulling it away. 27. So that's worse. Yikes. Yikes. But yeah, that's the one game I have on here is Quake. Not a whole lot on this thing to play games on. But it's not the point of this machine, right? Like the whole point of this being the way it is. Let me switch back over to the desk cam so y'all can see it. The whole point of this hardware being the way it is, where it's, some old rickety slot one VIA motherboard with a Pentium 3 CPU that won't work in any of my other boards. Like the whole reason that I'm using it is that I won't be sad if it's missing when I'm trying to do a video on something, from 1999, because I've got so much more hardware from this era that's faster, more efficient, more fun to play around with than this, this Jetway VIA motherboard and Radeon 9200 SE. Way more fun stuff than that. But for what I need it for, it works great. For doing work, it's actually not a bad machine. It's very quiet. It's fast enough, and of course, running Windows 2000 means it's running the best version of Windows ever made. This would be a good candidate for Haiku, though. Be kind of funny to try and run haiku in Wine on uh run Visual Basic on Wine on haiku. I think that'd be pretty funny. All right, so Gutbomb asks, does this have whatever the Windows 95 equivalent of direct input was? Yes. Yeah, so that was part of DirectX for a long time. Before it changed, before the Xbox launched and Microsoft launched X input. So yeah, it's got direct input in there. So yes, you can technically play Quake with a flight yoke if you wanted to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see, there you go. Gutbomb says the Elgato works for me when paired with a scaler that always outputs a compliant 1080p. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. So this is plugged straight into my AverMedia, and it sometimes works, and sometimes doesn't. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Gutbomb says, speaking of haiku, Trina's Technobabble has a Mac Pro. She wants to install boring Linux on it. We gotta convince her to do haiku instead, but that should be a pretty easy sell. Haiku's just cooler. It's got better pedigree. Especially installing it on an old Mac. Like, way better pedigree. Oh. Oh, and I've missed some chats from YouTube. Honeybarrow asks, I suppose early window versions don't have a lot of terminal bells and whistles. Oh man, oh man. Early Windows terminals are awful. Oh, they're so bad. Let me show you. Let's go back to the capture desktop here. There we go. Yeah, so if I bring up the command, by the way, the command interpreter, not the terminal. Let's get our test bar back. So we'll do a run in Windows NT. That's CMD. So here's our command prompt. First of all, you can see we can't resize it horizontally past 80 columns because that is actually set in our, where is it, properties. That's set in our window properties, where you can set your size here somewhere. Where is that? There it is. Window size. We can set our width. Screen buffer size. There's the one that we need to look for. And you have to set that. You can't just grab the edge of the terminal and just pull it out to wherever is nice. No, you have to go in here and change it and set it to something, like reasonable if you want to read logs or something. Although this being Windows, you're not going to be reading logs in the terminal, you're going to be reading it in like Event Viewer or something, which is still in System Tools. Oh boy, somewhere. Let's see if I can do right-click manage still there. Yes, Windows 2000 still has right-click manage. Excellent. So we should have a performance logs, some counter and trace logs. We should have our event viewer. There it is. So we can open up the application event log. That's where you're going to be viewing logs, right? Is in one of these like Microsoft Management Console snap-ins like this. Unable to open the disk performance object. Nice. Excellent. Dr. Watson crash from something. Who knows what? Probably Quake. Anyway, yeah. As far as the console goes, there's not a whole lot going on. Oh. Well, there we go. Okay. It's because I have this open for editing the horizontal size of it. But yeah, like you don't get, do you get tab complete on Windows 2000? Let's see. If we go back to here, CD, yes, okay. So you do get tab completion, thankfully. Of course, yep, you've got quotes for folders that have spaces in them. Easy traversal of directory trees isn't really there. You've got to at least like put your own backslash on it. But, you can tab through all the parts of directory tree. It's not the worst. Like this is Windows 2000 based on NT, and it's got at least a little bit more of a power user computer management kind of a bent to it versus like Win9X, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows ME. So things aren't quite as dire in Windows 2000 as they are in earlier versions of Windows, but of course, like Microsoft made some pretty significant strides with the terminal in Windows 8 and Windows 10 and then Windows 11, which of course, none of those are present here. But like, .NET got its start here. PowerShell got its start here. A lot of the stuff that we use today, if you do like Windows administration today, like I sadly have to do occasionally at my day job, a lot of the tools that I use every day exist in here, and we're built for Windows 2000 and have just existed in the operating system for the last 25 years. Like you can still do on Windows 11. If you go start run and you do appwiz.cpl, you'll still get the add remove programs application wizard. It looks different now than it did back in Windows 2000, but like it's still there. I think it's the one that you got from Vista. But yeah, that's still a thing that exists. What else? Oh yeah, they have changed this in recent versions, but you used to be able to just do control space system, which would launch the system control panel. And on Windows versions prior to, I think, Windows 10 22H2? 22H2 and older? No, 21H2 and older? Yeah, prior to 22H2, you could do a control system and it would load up the correct like system control panel. Of course, now this is not loading it for me. That might have actually only existed in XP. Let's see if another favorite of mine is user passwords 2. Does that one exist in 2000? It does not. Another one that rolled around with XP and Server 2003. That one was in here, sort of. It was the second version of this user profiles, where you could set like who you wanted to allow to remote desktop into the system, or if you wanted to require Control Alt Delete and a password at log on, stuff like that. But yeah, that's I love Windows 2000. It is nice. It's smooth. It goes like stink. And most of the stuff that you use day to day to manage a Windows install still exists on this thing. Yeah, if it's not on Windows 2000, it's probably on XP. Gutbomb says, ugh, the MMC. Yeah. Gutbomb says, no hyperterminal slander, please. Hey, hyperterminal is for actual terminal emulation, not for doing command prompt stuff. Hyperterminal is fine. Let's see if we do a yeah, good old MMC. So the MMC, if you do Windows administration, you're very, very familiar with this interface. And if it looks like it hasn't changed in 25 years, it's because it hasn't changed in 25 years, right? Like you can still, all of the snap-ins you're used to working with are still here. Way back in 2000, we can do disk defragmenter. Let's do the event viewer for this computer. And again, it's got the whole thing where you can like remotely attach it to another computer, so you can monitor another computer. that one. Close that. Thank you. Okay. But yeah, like if you've ever opened up the disk management interface on Windows 10, well, look at that. It's exactly the same on Windows 2000, 25 years ago. So yeah, that's my Skunkworks. This is what I use to make the graphics and the transitions for the channel. I think I probably just call it here. It's 5:40 my time. I think we've got the bandwidth issue sorted out, so next week's stream should be quite a bit more dynamic. I think we'll play some games. The other thing I wanted to ask though before we go is what do we think about like a Tuesday night stream where I play an old game? I could bring out like I still have my AGP test bench. I haven't stored that yet. So I could pull that out and plug some random retro graphics card into it, like maybe a Power VR or maybe a Voodoo 5, and then play an old game, and we could just do some gaming on Tuesday nights. What do you think, y'all? And then we'll leave the Saturday streams will be hardware streams, and then Tuesday nights will be it's going to be either Tuesday nights or Thursday nights, probably Tuesday nights. I'm slightly less busy Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights can be game streams. What do we think? Fortis says sounds fun, awesome. Everything's Broken Garage says yes. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Twitch now, and that's what you do on Twitch, right? You play games, right? That's the whole point of Twitch, right? Tiny Show Dragons. It sounds like that could be interesting. I think it could be fun. One of the things I've been really itching for is, and not the kind of itch you have to check with a doctor for, but like I've been really wanting to play some like Unreal Tournament multiplayer. Like maybe we could coordinate like a retro LAN party live on Twitch at some point. I think that would be really fun. We could do original UT99. We could do 2003 or 2004. Any of those would be great. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Could be something to do. CRTFI says sounds fun. Yeah, I think it'd be a good time. So, Harney Barrow says neat, although I would only suggest bad or jank like Unreal 2. Unreal 2 is pretty bad. I mean, I can play it. I've played the first like half an hour of it, but we can play some Unreal 2 on stream. I think it would be more entertaining, honestly, to play some bad or unknown games on the channel, and I think that might be a fun time. But yeah, let's checking through the chat, make sure I didn't lose anything here. Excellent. Yeah, looks like we've got some good video on YouTube side, good video on the Twitch side. Yeah, if I move this around, y'all should be able to see this. Like, there is tearing. Yeah, if you're seeing tearing, I'm seeing tearing up through the capture card as well. There's no like double buffered windows in Windows 2000. But yeah, if you're seeing that move around at a smooth clip, then we're good. And I think we've got the right bandwidth numbers for YouTube and Twitch. Gutbomb asks, please play Big Regs and Extreme Paint Brawl. You'll have to send me links to those. I don't actually know either of those, but I'm willing to try it. Absolutely. That's the whole point of the Tuesday streams. All right, so yeah. Harney Barrows is multiple bufferings for cowards. Exactly. We draw our windows direct to the VRAM as God intended. All right, so let's call this one. I think this is a pretty successful test stream, and I'm gonna swap back over to the ACAM so we can say good night. Look at that! I happen to have these lovely social links. I realized I put my Patreon on there like for $1 a month, but then I didn't put the link to the Patreon, which is stupid. But, you know, like I said, it was 2 in the morning when I was doing this. But yeah, it was good to see y'all. I had a fun time, and the streams are becoming more powerful than ever. Oh, and if you're curious about how the moving is going, um, whenever you see this Mac Plus down here, like take off, if that's not in the stream, then you know I'm actually making progress on moving things out. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be next stream. You'll see that missing because it'll be in the storage unit. Fingers crossed. Anyway, yeah, this is good. I had a good time and nice. Everything's broken garage says I have some cloud server space we're going to use. Nice. Yeah, run a dedicated server on there and do some gaming. All right, y'all. This has been great. I appreciate y'all tuning in and staying until the end. Y'all are troopers. So I will see you on the next stream. I don't know if I'll do a stream this Tuesday. Maybe we'll do a test. Maybe we'll do another test stream Tuesday for gaming and see what we can get working. Maybe it'll be good. All right, and then I'll for sure see y'all back here next Saturday on the next hardware stream on Tech Ambrosia. I will catch y'all later. So have a wonderful evening, and may the PC parts be ever in your favor. And there we go. May the PC parts be ever in your favor. Have a great night, y'all. How many buttons do I have to press to stop this broadcast?